Badin Gambian Kolu, Afrimoni Natale Kakobe son and Moli. Saila Afrimoni is a bank account of Conegala, near Conegala, Ida Hata. Isula the Femfela account is also no through Ila Afrimoni. So I remember your Rongo, need of the Kuku, call on Nanyum Koto, dial star 777 has Kobe Sonea, ya Afrimoni, Yanila bank account on Nakinola, Ila Fempen Sana, Tatarambaka don't get Bankoto. Sao Botalde, member your Rongo, Alta Alning Afrimoni, Ala Dunia Sonea.
Munga agenda, data bu yomba ak sa Buzz bundle mun nga jënd crédit ngir yokk sa bonus jaare ko ci Buzz Voice fenn rek nga ko mëna amé moy sa Afrimoney banexul ci yónnee gu yomba jëlé ko ci sa bank account bi tapal ko ci sa Afrimoney wallet bi mba nga gëné ko sa Afrimoney bi nga yónnee ko ci sa bank account bi togal sa kër di bandaaru toxalal xaalis ci noko bëggé Ecobank wala Bloom Bank yow yaay seet dialal star 777 hash nga press 8 wala nga call 777 ngir gën jallerlu.
Good evening and welcome to the Star TV Newsroom. We are broadcasting from our studios in Sarakunda. I am Maria Madem and many thanks for joining us. Coming up on Worldwide Cane Day, Govi highlights challenges faced by its members. The Gambia celebrates WHO's 75 years of global health leadership. The retired General Drame once again politicizing the Gambia Armed Forces. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology inaugurates the Ndemban Skills Center to empower Gambian youth. On international news, medics in Gaza warn thousands of wounded people could die as fuel and medicine supplies run out. This and much more coming. Stay tuned. Many thanks for joining us. Now, the Gambia Organization of the Visually Impaired on Sunday joined the rest of the globe to commemorate Worldwide Cane Day, a day set aside to raise awareness about the significance of the white cane as a symbol of independence and mobility for individuals with visual impairments. The event was marked by a captivating march past from the post office to the Govi Center in Kanifing. More in this report. October 15 was set in 1981 by the United Nations General Assembly to be observed as White Cane Day every year. The Gambia Organization of the Visually Impaired enthusiastically participated in the global observance of the day, which served as a platform to raise consciousness about the vital role of the white cane as a symbol of independence and mobility for individuals with visual impairments through a march past. This march aimed to promote inclusivity and advocate for the rights and well-being of visually impaired individuals in the Gambia. It also emphasized the importance of raising awareness among motorists, cyclists, and pedestrians regarding the significance of the white cane, and to as well remind decision-makers about the plight of visually impaired people.
The message will go to everybody, particularly the road users, of course, which are different persons, motorcyclists, vehicle or car drivers, etc. To note that whenever you see a person with this identified white cane, you should allow, encourage and support him or her to move freely and independently. It is not necessary when the person misses his or her way for you to shout at that individual. There is no need for it. Once you see him or her with the white cane, come closer to him or her, have a good approach, support him or her, especially when the individual is using the white cane and is taking a wrong direction. So it is indeed a very significant mobility aid. And the aid is supported by Persons with Disabilities Act 2021.
The annual event was not only used by members to draw attention to the white cane's significance, but effectively conveyed the message of unity, understanding and the challenges they face and the need to support the visually impaired in communities. Deyasun Seka is the former nominated National Assembly member.
I want to remind everybody, pedestrians, cyclists, motorists, to respect the state. And in the Gambia, we need something that we call zebra and pelican crossing, because those are what we need as far as visually impaired is concerned. You know, anytime I talk about all types of disability, all days but for one today. Today we have to talk about visually impaired people and blind people. And let me tell you, the long cane is for blind people, totally blind people. And then the symbolic cane is for low vision. And then the children's cane, you all know, is for the children who have visual problems. So, and the other thing is that the cane should be white.
In 2018, the United Nations issued a report that shows in recent years, persons with disabilities continue to face numerous barriers to their full inclusion and participation in the life of their communities. It also sheds light on their disproportionate levels of poverty, their lack of access to education, health services, employment, and their underrepresentation in decision-making and political participation. The occasion on Sunday was presided over by the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Honorable Fatou Kinte, who explains that the Gambia government, through her ministry, will embark on every possible means to ensure that the full independence of the blind and visually impaired persons is realized through the provision of their basic needs.
My ministry will work closely with all relevant ministries and stakeholders to work towards barrier-free environment and inclusive public service to all persons with disabilities. To contribute to improving the living conditions of the persons with disabilities, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare has procured 199 white canes for Gobe, and this will be handed over today. Honorable Day Seka, today I'm fulfilling one of my promises to you by handing over 199 white canes, and I promise you that by this day next year, I'll hand over to you censored white canes. Censored white canes.
The event also sees the presentation of 199 white canes to the organization by the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare. The participation of the Gambia Organization of the Visually Impaired in the World White Cane Day 2023 demonstrated their firm commitment to empowering the visually impaired individuals, ensuring their full integration into society and highlighting the diverse challenges they face on a daily basis. Maria Madam, reporting for Star TV News. Now moving on, the World Health Organization on Monday marks its 75th anniversary of global health leadership. The WHO office in the Gambia held a grand celebration at the Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center in Bigelow under the theme Health for All. By Call reports.
The event highlighted the achievements and challenges of World Health Organization, a specialized agency of the United Nations in promoting well-being and ensuring universal health coverage for all since its establishment on April 7, 1948. The speakers reflected on the extraordinary journey of World Health Organization and its pivotal role in addressing health challenges, shaping policies, and coordinating international efforts to combat diseases. They also reiterate World Health Organization's commitment to achieving health equality and social well-being worldwide and envision future aspiration in attaining better health outcomes. In giving the opening remarks, World Health Organization Country Representative Dr. Desta Tironi outlines that WHO has made remarkable strides in improving health outcomes.
Over the years, the WHO has made remarkable strides in improving health outcomes, tackling global health challenges, and shaping the future of healthcare. Through its relentless dedication to serving humanity, World Health Organization has built trust as a guardian of public health that provides critical support to countries in times of crisis and ensuring well-being of billions around the globe.
United Nations Resident Coordinator, Mrs. Sarafina Wakana, in her statement, reflects on the extraordinary journey of World Health Organization.
Today, we gather to reflect upon and celebrate the extraordinary journey of the World Health Organization over the past 75 years and its remarkable contributions to global health. In this time, WHO has been a beacon of hope, a symbol of global cooperation, and a guardian of public health. WHO played an instrumental role in addressing and mitigating numerous health emergencies, crises, and pandemics worldwide.
Minister of Health, Honorable Dr. Amadou Lamin Samate, urged World Health Organization to continue supporting the health ministry in more trained personnel across.
Access to quality health services is ensured along the length and breadth of this country. Equally speaking, together with partners like the WHO itself and World Bank, the government is equipping these facilities to ensure that the right equipment are available. But of course, we can have the equipment, we can have the facilities, we need the skilled people. So we urge the WHO to continue to support, in fact, to accelerate the support they are offering to the Ministry of Health to ensure that we have more and more trained personnel across all the health cadres in this country. At this juncture,
the celebration was attended by Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Honorable Fatou Kinte, Minister of Health, Honorable Amadou Lamin Samate, United Nations Resident Coordinator, Mrs. Sarafin Wakana, World Health Country Representative, Dr. Desta Tironi, and other dignitaries and stakeholders. The event also recognized the outstanding contribution of Omar Baji, the National Focal Person for Tobacco Control, who received a certificate of recognition from World Health Organization. The 75 years anniversary celebration of WHO was a momentous occasion that illuminated the remarkable journey of this influential organization and reinforced the importance of global cooperation in navigating the ever-evolving landscape of public health and shaping a healthier world for generations to come. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Baikor.
Well, happy anniversary to the World Health Organization. Now moving on, the retired Chief of Defense Staff has cautioned his successor to stand firm to avoid politicizing the Gambia Armed Forces. Lieutenant General Yankuba Edrame made this reaction during a pull-out ceremony which was organized to mark the end of his services in the Gambia Armed Forces. More in this report by Model Baji.
This pull-out ceremony is an old military tradition bestowed to commanders upon their retirement or transition. General Drame used the occasion to applaud the personnel of the Gambia Armed Forces for what he described as a positive achievement during his tenure and the support they rendered to him as the Chief of Defense Staff. Lieutenant General Drame reiterated his call for the fine men and new men in uniform to avoid being politically and tribally inclined.
I wish to reiterate that we have an important stake in our striving democracy. In view of this, let us all take pride in the milestones taken in restructuring and repositioning the Gambia Armed Forces by realigning it with the tenet of democracy. As the People's Armed Forces, I wish to reiterate that the Gambia Armed Forces must remain apolitical and non-tribally inclined and professionally responsive in the discharge of its well-defined constitutional mandate. It should be emphasized that the armed forces is the last line of national unity. In view of this, I've said it and I want to repeat myself, the Gambia Armed Forces cannot afford itself to be divided, either on political lines or tribal lines. Any attempt to do so present an ugly consequences. You knew very well where we came from. When I took over command, all of you would attest to that. There was a strict division within the military. either on tribal land or political lines, that almost threaten the disintegration of this fine institution. You would all attest to that. Today, I came in and I was able to reconcile the military. Today, no tribe matters because I do not identify myself with any tribe. We are Gambians when we serve in the military. If our brothers and sisters outside Unifor show wish to divide themselves on tribal lands, let it be. But in the military, we cannot afford ourselves to be divided. Either by tribal lands or political lines. I've strictly discussed this with the incoming CDS.
CDS Dramé hailed the dynamic leadership of President Adama Barrow for the trust bestowed on him to serve as the Chief of Defense Staff under his leadership.
Admit that assuming the mantle of leadership of the Gambia Armed Forces at this particular period was a great sign of trust and confidence that His Excellency the President of the Republic and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency President Barrow, had bestowed upon me. This evidently multiplied my responsibility as Chief of Defense Staff against the backdrop of the challenges and limitations occasioned by the pandemic and the TRRC revelations. Certainly, I lack the right words of expression to convey my thanks to Mr. President for such an appointment. However, I remain exceedingly grateful to Mr. President for the rare privilege and remarkable opportunity accorded me to serve my country in this prestigious capacity. It was exactly 3 years, 7 months, and 8 days ago when we set out on what I call historic journey with a bold vision to rebrand, recalibrate, restructure, reorganize, and refocus the well-intended trajectory of the Gambia Armed Forces so as to produce an armed forces.
Lieutenant General Yakuba A. Dramé is the first Gambian Chief of Staff to retire based on statutory requirement. Giving the vote of thanks on behalf of the Gambian Armed Forces, Lieutenant Colonel Abdullah Mbub described Lieutenant General Yakuba Dramé as a genuine leader who served his country with an enviable track record.
Sir, we are all convinced that you are a perfect gentleman general officer with an indisputable excellent character and vision. Your leadership was admirable because you placed the interest of the nation as your first priority. Followed by the interest and welfare of troops under your command, self-interest and personal comfort in that order. These are traits. These traits can only be found in a patriotic citizen whose love for his people and country is supreme. The traits can also be found in a great commander and a great leader like you. We cannot ask for more, but thank you for the leadership over the years, sir.
The retired general was pulled out by senior officers and principal staffs of the Gambia Armed Forces. Marking the last day of his military career, the outgoing CDS was honored with a march past mounted by various units of the Gambia Armed Forces. However, Lieutenant General Yakuba A. Dramé will be remembered for his outspokenness and the impeccable track record he scored in transforming the Gambia Armed Forces. For Star TV, I am Model Baji.
Well, happy retirement to General Dramé. Now moving on, in what could be described as a significant event in the drive to empower youth through skills development, the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, on Friday officially inaugurated the Nemban Skills Training Center in Fonyi Berefet in the West Coast region. The newly built and inaugurated Vocational Skills Training Center is under the Institute of Technical Training ITT, Gambia University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology USET, in partnership with the Ministry of Higher Education. It is part of the government's effort to improve education and promote technical and vocational skills among Gambian youth. The first batch of the Nemban Training Center accommodates 130 students with free tuition fees sponsored by the Gambia government. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, in reassuring the need and importance of investing in skills training, said it is only right to empower the youthful population with skills development for both personal gain and the country's economic growth. This, he said, will also limit the journey to Europe through the deadly Mediterranean route in search for greener pasture.
Tertiary and higher education is the backbone of any sustainable development. We must invest in the future because the future is here. These are the people who will build this nation. We have a structural problem. You see out there around Senegambia and other places, building roads here and there, but those people doing it are non-Gambians. Ndemban will take the lead to free the country. That's why 130 students admitted here at Ndemban. And for the first time, the Gambia government is saying, you have full scholarships. Skills sets with entrepreneurship embedded. When they finish, they are not to wait for government to employ them. The training is in such a way that you finish, you employ yourselves, you employ others. You feed yourself, you feed your family, and feed the nation. You have a developed Gambia.
The historic ceremony also witnessed the official handing over of the laboratory equipment donated by the Turkey International Development Agency, known as TICA, to the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, meant for the construction and carpentry labs of the center. Sule Bayar, the TICA coordinator, said this is one of many gestures from TICA to institutions, and the purpose of this support is to provide the necessary equipment for the two programs, construction and carpentry. As TVET education is an alternative to academic education, she hopes that the materials will be used for their purpose and that the beneficiaries will graduate with the required skills that will resonate with the job market.
Supported the center with the needed materials in two programs. One of it is construction and the other is carpentry. The purpose of TICA's support to the center is to provide necessary equipment, materials and supplies for the center's construction and carpentry training program, offering not only educational and career support but also opportunities for personal growth. It is very important to emphasize that TVET directly contributes to reducing unemployment in the country and opening new opportunities for the young people. And as Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency, TICA, we supported national TVET policy of the Gambia. Since last year, we have supported many TVET projects in all the country.
The Minister of Higher Education extended gratitude to the donors for what he described as a life-changing gesture set to transform the country's TVET sector.
I use this opportunity to sincerely thank the government and people of Turkey, and TICA in particular. When we had meetings with them, they wasted no time to give us some equipment. And yes, in fact, and they were having some challenges, but finally they were able to do something for us.
The director of USAID, Aliu Saka, described the inauguration ceremony and the presentation of the learning materials as a milestone that needs to be celebrated, as the center is set to address the skill gap in the country.
It's our collective commitment to educate and skill the youth for development. Education is a powerful force for positive change, breaking the chains of poverty and enhancing the quality of life of the citizen.
The Alcalo of Ndemban, Janko Jiba, characterizes the event as a significant day for his village, the initiators and the country as a whole.
This is a momentous occasion for us as the school is built based on a very significant reason. The importance of skills acquisition cannot be overemphasized because in building infrastructure, we need constructors to do it. Therefore, Skills are not small things.
Students echoed similar words and promised to focus and make the best use of the training. Maria Madam, reporting for Star TV News. The National Association of Artisanal Fisheries Operators, NAFA, in partnership with the West African Association for Development of Artisanal Fisheries, WADAF, has commenced a 2-day workshop for information and upgrading of National Advocacy Coalition on the issues of fish oil in the Gambia. The primary objective of the forum is to discuss on how to tackle the significant challenges associated with flow manufacturing and fish oil in artisanal fisheries sector. This gathering brought together key stakeholders including industry professionals, government officials, researchers, NGOs to collectively address these issues. Awasane has the details.
As NAFO holds the key role of coordinating the activities of the affiliated members, which include both male and female fishermen, the workshop has attracted participation of 25 fish workers eager to enhance their knowledge and skills during this intensive 2-day event. Dauda Fodesen, an executive member of NAFO, emphasized the workshop's significance and stating the objectives of the workshop is to facilitate the exchange of crucial information regarding fishing plans, encompassing legal instruments that govern the establishment of fishing practices.
The objective of this workshop is really to share information as regards, the issue of fish meal plans, the legal instrument that allows them to establish. And we know that the National Environment Agency has its legal instrument, talks about environmental issues in terms of the quality of the water, the environmental air quality, and the impact they have on the social, economic, biological, ecological as far as the marine environment is concerned and the players around the fisheries resources is concerned. That's why the fishermen, the women fish workers, even the consumer. So these are things that we are trying to share and also share with them the data, available data, showing us, telling us the biomass of the fish and whether the present biomass allow for more fish meal plants or allow even for the continuity of this present 3 fish meal plants we have in the Gambia.
Musambenga is the executive secretary of ADEPA.
Li ñi def nañ ko Sénégal ba paré tay ñi ngi fi di ko def Gambie inshallah rabi mois prochain novembre dañu dem Mauritanie pour def ko fa.
As my organization is formed to look into the difficulties faced by the fishing industry and to enhance the knowledge of those involved, we want every West African country to benefit from this. We were in Senegal, now in Gambia, and after here we will be going to Mauritania.
Jappalé ko coalition bi pour ñu mëna def liggéey bobu comme niñ ko défé Sénégal def ko fenen buñ démé nak ba def liñ wara def yépp.
Mustafa Yabo, a coordinator, advises participants to take the workshop seriously and earn knowledge from it.
Pour ñu am fi dajé bu melni dafa sét suñu dunda.
This kind of workshop is good for us in order to know our problems and what we need to advance our fishing industry.
Meeting bi dañu wara fonku meeting bi bu baax ñu respect ko ñu def participant bu baax.
This knowledge sharing initiative will also look into the socio-economic and ecological impact of fishing on the marine environment and fishery resources. The workshop also aims to equip its participants with a deeper understanding of these crucial aspects, fostering sustainable and responsible practices in the artisanal fishery sector of the Gambia. Awasane for Star TV News.
Now the story by Awasane brings us to a short commercial break, and when we return, the news continues. Stay tuned.
Buy the AfriCell 4 Mbps mega bundle for $2,700 at any AfriCell outlet and get a MiFi for free. No time for buffering. Speed, Lenoir. Walk into any AfriCell outlet today and buy your very own AfriCell 3G smartphone for $2,000, and on top of that, receive 15 gigabytes of internet data valid for 1 month, all for free. Looks like a free phone to me. Now, it's time to get yours.
Walk into any AfriCell outlet today and buy AfriCell's durable dual SIM 4G smartphone for $2,600. Comes with 2 SIM slots, a memory card slot, camera, FM radio, and to top it all off, 25 gigabytes of data for free. Valid for 1 month. Remember, at AfriCell, we cater for all. Your door to the future.
Walk into any Africell outlet and purchase the Africell 5 Mbps mega bundles for $3,300 and receive a CPE router for free.
You open a car, mandem na auto suma boste Africell rek.
Welcome back after the short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, we're watching the Star TV Newsroom and we're broadcasting from our studios in Sarakunda. I am Maria Madem and thanks for joining us. Let's now take a look at some international news. Hospitals will turn into graveyards. That's the warning from Gaza's frontline health workers as Israel's complete blockade stops life-saving supplies and medical aid from entering. Doctors say hospitals and healthcare centers will use up their last fuel reserves in the next 24 hours. Al Jazeera's Assad Page reports.
These are the ones who are supposed to help others, but these medics are now some of the latest victims of Israel's war on Gaza. After a night of heavy bombardment, the injured were brought to the Al-Shifa hospital by any means available. Some of their colleagues unable to hold back their tears.
The situation is catastrophic. For the last 7 days, we have a continuous flow of severely wounded patients. The hospital beds were expanded many times, though it's fully packed now. In the last hour, if I'm talking about the last hour, we received around 60 severely wounded patients, means 1 patient per minute.
Across Gaza, the number of dead and injured is rising.
Inside the house, we found bodies of children who had nothing to do with the war. They were safe in their houses.
Nothing seems untouched. Even donkeys are not spared in this densely populated strip of land. And there is nowhere for Palestinians to go. Some continue to gather at the Rafah crossing with Egypt, desperate for a way out. But those who are waiting can only pray. Diplomatic efforts are underway to get aid into Gaza, where essential supplies and services are being denied. Water is scarce, and these men say they are taking desperate measures.
Now we're filling in salt water. I'm ready to drink from the salt water. What else can we do? We're forced to do this, and thank God.
The attacks are unending, and now they wait for the next wave. But parts of the strip are already nothing more than smouldering rubble. Assad Beg, Al Jazeera.
Now still on the war, hundreds of civilians who lived and worked in Israel are fleeing the country as the war on Gaza intensifies. But thousands of Israeli soldiers with dual nationality are returning to fight. Al Jazeera's Asama bin Zaid reports.
Hundreds of civilians from different countries have left Israel since the war in Gaza broke out. These are Thai workers. An estimated 30,000 work in Israel. And after 28 Thai nationals were killed in attacks last week, many do not want to go back.
I talked with my family. I won't return to work there. I'll settle down at home. A lot of things are still bad.
Many Nepalese have also fled. Most are agriculture students. They witnessed their friends being killed and wounded.
We waited where there was no bunker. There were 34 more who were brought to the same place a little later, all of us sharing a room with a very limited amount of food.
Indian nationals also returned on a chartered flight after a third of the country's 18,000 people in Israel registered to fly back home.
My family was scared. They wanted me to return as soon as possible. I was fortunate to return in the first flight.
Peru's Air Force also airlifted dozens of nationals from Israel. Some were scared for their lives.
We are happy because we have taken our compatriots out of the danger zone. They are here.
Hundreds of Americans have also returned home on chartered flights, but the governor of Florida doesn't want the US to take any Palestinian refugees. He says, quote, they're all anti-Semitic, and he dismissed calls for Israel to provide clean running water and essential goods and services to the 2.3 million civilians stranded in Gaza.
There are times when leadership is called for, when there's a devoid of leadership, you got to step up and answer the call. And that's what we did here. And I know those people appreciate it. I know the many hundreds more that are going to come appreciate it too.
But as civilians are leaving, thousands of Israeli soldiers with dual nationality are returning. Israel has called up 360,000 reservists as its war on Gaza intensifies.
All the soldiers are short of mattresses. We bring everything they need. We are organizing to bring everything.
Where did you come from?
From Miami, Florida.
And why did you came to Israel?
To kill Hamas and to bring everyone home.
and they are arriving from many countries.
It's very sad that what happened. We don't believe about the things that Hamas did. We are going to fight them back.
As the Israeli government says it will annihilate what it calls terrorists on one of the world's most densely populated areas, more Israelis are flocking to join the fight from all over the world. Sami bin Javed, Al Jazeera.
I'm afraid the story brings us to the end of this news bulletin, but before we take a look at you, a quick reminder of our main headlines. On Worldwide Care Day, Govi highlights challenges faced by its members. The Gambia celebrates WHO's 75 years of global health leadership. The retired General Drame once again politicizing the Gambia Armed Forces. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology inaugurates the Ndemban Skills Center to empower Gambian youth. On international news, medics in Gaza warn thousands of wounded people could die as fuel and medicine supplies run out. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Do join us tomorrow for another bulletin. But in the meantime, do enjoy the rest of our programs and have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching.